Pandemic poetry looks like a Zoom call on my old laptop.
It looks like an unstable internet connection with my brother screaming in the background.
Pandemic poetry looks like curbside pickup.
And binge watching Tiger King.
It's empty streets and full hospital beds. Daily White House briefings.
The weather feels sunny with the chance of unemployment.
Feels like panic buying productivity.
Wrapping all of our problems in toilet paper.
Feels like trying to find the eye of the storm.
Pandemic poetry makes me realize virtual snaps aren't very loud.
It makes me realize poetry brings us together.
Our snaps may be quiet, but our voices are louder than before.
Listen to our sound and amplify what's possible.
Pandemic poetry feels like dropping lines to flatten curves.
Canceling concerts, but not community.
Watch us love from 6 feet away. Feel us touch from thousands more.
Pandemic poetry can traverse the longest distances and transcend the strongest of barriers.
To move the most callous of hearts.
Defeating 6 feet with 6 words.
We are going to get through this.
Pandemic poetry looks like transformation.
Pandemic poetry looks like unity.
Pandemic poetry looks like peace.
Pandemic poetry looks like understanding.
Pandemic poetry looks like endurance.
Pandemic poetry looks like laughter.
Pandemic poetry looks like strength.
Pandemic poetry looks like hope.
Pandemic poetry looks like uncertainty.
Pandemic poetry looks like confidence.
Pandemic poetry looks like patience.
Pandemic poetry looks like faith.
Pandemic poetry looks like empathy.
Pandemic poetry looks like aspiration.
Pandemic poetry looks like love.
Pandemic poetry looks like kindness.
Pandemic poetry looks like self-care.
Pandemic poetry looks like gratitude.
Pandemic poetry looks like creativity.
Pandemic poetry looks like us.